Oftentimes what we found here at Lever is when we're taking over new education clients, what we're finding is that they're doing a really smart job of leveraging different targeting and technology applications and techniques, but oftentimes there's a big opportunity for refining their messaging strategy. What we find is they're using sort of one overarching messaging strategy for all the audiences that they're reaching versus really honing in and speaking to that particular audience segment in a personable and relatable way.
There's no surprise that ad messaging is a crucial part of digital marketing campaigns for EDU clients. Here at Lever, we've spent 12 years looking at research and testing to make sure that we have the right ad messaging for our EDU clients, both for-profit and not-for-profit. We've developed these best practices that we generally start with when we take over an account from another agency or perhaps when we start new campaigns. One of the most common things that we found is what we call too good to be true advertising, where perhaps a school may be offering bachelor's degrees and a variety of them, and maybe one or two master's degrees, but in their ad messaging, they make a claim that they're offering a variety of both degrees. And therefore, they might get a lot of clicks. There might be a high click-through rate, and they may deem that as a good ad. However, it's costly, the conversions don't come through. And it's because people are looking for those wide variety of master's degrees that maybe they're not offering. So what we try to do is we try to make sure that the ad is as clear as possible. You're not going to convince somebody through an ad messaging to join your school, but what you're going to do is make sure that you get the right people and make sure that they're qualified to click on your ad by advertising that variety of bachelor's degrees that you offer and maybe those one or two masters, and mention those either in the ad or in the site extensions. We generally see when that happens that your click-through rate may drop, but your conversions actually rise and your cost per lead will actually go down. We see it very similar when schools are advertising for online programs, when again they might offer only one or two. And again, it's somewhat leading the customer to believe that there is this variety of online programs that they can sign up for, when in actuality it isn't. And we do see higher conversion rates as well as a lower cost per lead when we call out what those online programs are separately and keep the more general and the variety type keywords in the ad messaging for those broad degrees that you do offer.
Application deadlines, enrollment deadlines, and dates for open houses are a really important part to your overall messaging strategy when it comes to digital. However, those dates happen many different times throughout the year, which requires you to have to be constantly updating your ad copy. What we have found through multiple different types of testing is that messaging those key dates through extensions in ads versus introducing them into the headline or description lines actually improves performance because you're not resetting ad history every single time. So it allows us to build upon the performance of our evergreen ad copy that's consistently in market while also really connecting with individual students and parents.
Our experience and our research shows that students generally know what they want to study, but they don't know where to study. They're very brand agnostic, and they know the general topic that they want to study. And what I mean by that is they know they want a writing degree perhaps, but they may not know your naming convention of your degree program. So if your degree program is an English writing degree, they may be searching it through just writing, creative writing, or even an English degree. So one of the things that we suggest is to have variations of your program name in the ad copy. Certainly use your naming convention for your program, that's important to your brand, but also use keywords that the student may search for if they don't understand everything about the degree. And again, we generally see that we get a higher click-through rate and a higher conversion rate and potentially a lower cost per lead when we make these changes.
Creating a sense of urgency within your messaging strategy is something that we found to be universally successful across many different verticals, channels, and mediums. EDU is no exception, especially when we're talking about something like deadlines, whether it be application deadlines, enrollment deadlines. Those dates really matter to prospective students and even their parents. So making sure that we're messaging those effectively and driving up that sense of urgency so that we do make sure that they meet those deadlines really drives the response that we're looking for to meet our KPIs for the campaigns.
We have found that parents are usually ignored in the ad messaging from EDU. Considering in a Discover Card survey that 80% of parents say they're somewhat or mostly involved with their children's college search, it's important to include them. And of those, 74% are willing to pay a premium for college, but most of them don't think that they have enough money. And therefore, 41% of them plan to limit their child's choice based on price. And 60% of those believe that price is affected by the type or the location, so public or community college is what they're willing to shrink their child's choice down to. But at the same time, parents are looking for other things in colleges than students are. They're looking for good fit, about 78% of parents, and a safe environment, 74% of parents. What we have found is that you need to message to them in different ways and use your differentiators. If tuition and cost, financial aid, or scholarships is a way to do that, it's a great way for parents to understand that they may be saving money with you even if you're not a public university or a community college. Other ideas are your campus safety report, activities or events that their children can do at college and have it be either a safe environment or a good fit. You need to include parents in your messaging because they are the biggest influencers on their children and their college choice.
Audience lists are becoming increasingly more important to marketers. Previously we really only had lists such as remarketing lists to really tailor our messaging to users, where now we have the opportunity to leverage website behavior, demographics, interests, behavioral targeting that really we're able to overlay into our campaigns and leverage feed-based if-then messaging so we can make sure that we are serving the right message to the right user based where they're at within the funnel.
We talked a lot today about things that EDU clients can do with their ad messaging to be more targeted and to have success in their digital marketing. This included things like targeting the right audience with if-then messaging, as well as using messaging that's important to those audiences, be it a student or a parent. We talked about being truthful in our advertising and making sure that all of our differentiators are there to target people. Being creative in the sense of using site extensions, promo extensions to advertise things, or to use things like countdowns to make it dynamic and fresh. Here at Lever, we believe that the right message to the right audience at the right time can make a significant difference in your digital marketing as an EDU client. If you have any other questions, please reach out to us at our website at leverinteractive.com.